They're committed to those cattle, so they're not leaving their post. They're staying there, they're gonna stay engaged. They've got cattle to take care of.
No matter the weather, no matter the conditions, no matter the day or time, cattle producers will be working.
It was pretty stressful, but I mean, you kind of know coming into it, that's what you signed up for.
Derek Strawn is an animal science junior at Oklahoma State University. He works at the OSU Purebred Beef Center.
That's kind of the beauty of this job and working for OSU is everyone has the opportunity to learn.
Strawn was just one of the many people who was outside working during the February ice storm.
Simple tasks take so much longer. When you're that cold, your hands don't work, equipment doesn't work, cows don't cooperate.
He and his co-workers had to make sure the cattle always had plenty of food and water. In this condition, cattle need more food than usual so they can stay warm.
You know, the biggest challenge was just making sure they had food and water. And so they spent a lot of extra hours chopping ice in most cases to make sure cattle had access to water, hauling extra feed, extra hay, and extra supplement.
Not only did they have to make sure there was water available, but they also had to make sure ponds weren't frozen over because cattle would fall in.
If the producers didn't get there in time to break ice and make it obvious where the water was, and cattle in this country are not really used to ice. And so they would walk out on where they knew the water should be, and they would get farther out, and then in some cases would fall in.
Another challenge was some cows were calving during this time. Calves are born wet, so once they were born, they had to be dried off and taken to a warmer place.
In that kind of weather, it doesn't take them long to get a bad type of way. So you have to really, stay on top of it, know which ones you think are going to calve and soon. And when that calf hits the ground, sometimes you just got to be ready to pick them up, and sometimes moms don't like to cooperate with that. Pick them up and throw them in the feed truck and get him warm. That way he can actually have a fighting chance in that weather.
And the men and women out there who are raising beef cattle, that it's our livelihood and it's our business, but it's really our life. And there's a strong connection between that rancher and those cattle.
Whatever the circumstance may be, cattlemen and women are committed to their animals.
A 9 to 5 is not guaranteed, and most days it's closer to 5 to 9. But it's kind of what we sign up for, and you look back on it, and I'll be telling my kids stories about it someday. So it's kind of what keeps us going, I guess.